What's up, YouTube? Happy Friday. I'm back. We just had a crazy storm outside I guess it's today for me, but it's yesterday for you guys. But this week, I'd like to get into talking about some crazy stories that have happened to me while I'm here in college. Today I'm going to tell one, but you know, me being a senior, I'm a senior in college now, I have plenty of stories to go around, so if you like hearing about this, I can come back and tell a few more later on. So strap in, because this story is a lot of fun. Alright, so to get started, this was my freshman year of college. Way back at the beginning, I wasn't an RA, wasn't a head RA. I was basically just a college student, and I think even at this point I wasn't even working a part-time job. I was just doing school. So I had no responsibility except to go to class, do my homework, get the grade, and that's it. I had a couple of friends, I'm not gonna name any names while I'm here, but I had a couple of friends that I hung out with pretty frequently, and some of them were older than others. Well, one of the older guys in the friend group was really harping on the fact that he knows all the spots, like all the spots on campus, you know, and I, being a freshman, was like, what spots are you talking about? What's so special about these spots he's talking about? And he was talking about how he could get on the roof of our student center. Our campus has some very key buildings. It's pretty small, so the student center, the administration building, Hoke Hall, these are all like different spots on campus. Well, the student center, being dead in the center of campus, he says he can get on the roof of there. And all of us are like, I'm not so sure about that. And he says, okay, well, I'll tell you when, and we'll go up there. We'll all go up there together. So one day, him and I are hanging out. It's getting later in the day. It's just me and him, not anybody else there. He says, all right, you want to go up to the roof? And it's getting just dark enough to where no one would see us while we were doing anything. He says, all right, you want to go up to the roof? And I said, 1 second. And I needed backup. I needed someone else to come with me because I needed them to know also that I was up on the roof, okay? Like this was a reputation thing. I needed them to know I was gonna be there too. So I hit up one of my other friends who was a freshman like me and texted him, and he said, all right, I'll be right there. So he meets us behind the loading dock, right behind the student center. And I was like, what the heck are we doing behind the loading dock? How are we gonna get on the roof from here? Well, turns out there's a fire escape that's not really well blocked off behind the student center. Not even like a full fire escape, like one of those you would see at like an apartment complex. No, this is like a graded over ladder that goes all the way to the roof. And it's about 7, or I'd say it's like 8 to 9 feet off the ground, so you have to jump up and grab it. And then you have to jump up, grab it, pull yourself up, and then climb in between the poles that are blocking off the ladder so that way you can get to the ladder and climb the rest of the way. So I watched him do it, one of my friends, or the guy who was talking all about it, and he runs, jumps up and grabs the ladder, pulls himself up, and just goes up there. I go next, and at this point in my life, I was a little bit bigger. I didn't really have much upper body strength, but I was able to do it. I was able to jump up and use the wall with my feet to pull myself up to it, and then use my foot on one of the vents that's next to it to push myself up into the actual ladder itself. So I got up on the ladder, climbed to the top, and then my last friend comes up with me. And this is all sort of the setup because some crazy stuff happened in the meantime. We all get up there, we're hanging out. It's really pretty because we're sort of above all that like lighting, so we can see the stars really, really, really well. And you can see not the whole campus or anything like that. That would be one of the taller buildings, but you could see pretty far, and it was really cool just, you know, to be doing something that not everybody really gets to do on the campus. So we're up here hanging out, and about 30 minutes go by. We're doing some stupid like running around parkour stuff up there because there's a lot of stuff in the way, and it was a lot of fun, honestly. And we're climbing around doing some crazy things, and he decides, or my friend who took us up here says, okay, it's getting late. He was a commuter, so I need to go home. I'm gonna head out. I think it's like probably 9:30, 10 o'clock at this point. I need to head out, I need to get home, and but you two can stay up here. So my other friend and I said, yeah, we will. So we stayed up, he left and climbed down. Well, like 60 seconds go by, I spotted him, looked down just to make sure if anybody was coming, I could, give a call out or something like that, but I looked down at him, and after he gets down, I watch him walk away, and we continue as business as usual. Well, I get a text like 60 seconds later that says, hey, I'm right across the street, but there's a cop behind the student center. And I look at my phone and go, uh-oh. Well, luckily, I was pretty paranoid about this trip in general coming up here. And so I prepared because I brought myself, I was wearing a jacket and a t-shirt and shorts, I think. I brought myself a bag, and that way I could take off my jacket, put it inside, and then also in the bag I had a mask so that if I didn't want to be seen or found or identified, I had this mask to put on over top. So, of course, I go to check over the side of the building where we climbed up, and I pull out the mask and I put it on, and I look over the side of the building, and I kid you not, I make eye contact with the cop who's at the bottom, and he is looking up at the fire escape where I'm at the top of, and he just stares at me, and he doesn't say anything because he's one of those cops. He's like your classic cop who's always like pretty big. He's standing there, he's on his like little radio thing, and he couldn't climb up. He couldn't get himself up there without access to the actual ladder itself, like unchaining the gate. So we had the advantage here. And so I look at my friend and I take off the mask, put it in my bag, and I say, we gotta go. And he goes, what do you mean we can't go down that way? And I look back and say, no, we gotta go off the front. So we climbed up the back of the building. The front of the building is just on the other side, and there's this nice little glass pane and it goes all the way across the building that goes down like this and then levels off and goes down like this for about 8 or 9 feet. So you're sliding for about 4 feet, and then down 8 or 9 feet is the drop. So I look at my friend and I say, all right, someone's got to go first. There's no one in sight. I guess they haven't gotten it to like, the RAs and stuff yet. I'm like, all right, go ahead. And he was like, me? And I said, yep, you, go ahead. And he did it. He lowered himself down and slid and then dropped off and landed on his feet, sort of like the 3-point pose, And then he got up, went inside of the student center because there's like a door right there next to it, goes inside the student center and waits for me. So I did the same. I climbed down, slide for a little bit, and then I wait a second and drop and do not stick the landing. I land and lower myself a little bit too far to where my balance is off, and I land just on my 2 feet, and then I just fall right back down on my butt. And then I look up, and standing in front of me is student body president, someone, I'm not gonna say his name, but the student body president is standing directly in front of me, and I still have the mask on, at this point, because I was gonna wear it for the way down, and he looks at me and goes, are you okay? And I just nod, and then run inside. I get inside next to my friend. He's like, all right, come on. We go around the corner into the bathroom that's next to student affairs, and I go in there, take my mask off, take my jacket off, throw it in, and then boom, we are different people. He does the same. He had an extra shirt with him, so he changed shirts, and we were both in completely different outfits than we were when we were on the roof. And then we go to walk out of the bathroom. Obviously, we're home free at this point, right? Almost. He goes to walk out of the bathroom in front of me, and another person whose name I knew comes walking in. I didn't know them well, but I know what their name was. Comes walking into the bathroom and just dead blocks the door, basically. And my friend looks up at him and says, hey man, what's wrong? And I looked at him like, dude, you're giving us away. You're giving us away right now. And I said, hey buddy, he's just trying to come in. And then the guy who I knew was like, yeah, I just gotta use the bathroom. And so he comes in, goes around and starts using the bathroom, and then my other friend walks out and I follow him and I was like, dude, you're about to blow our cover. It's awful. And so we walk outside and there are people. There are lots of like people out here. I wouldn't say like dozens of people, but you know, upwards of like 10 different people, and they're all looking at the roof. And there are people behind the building. I know that for a fact because when we walked around, we could see public safety and the cops out back looking up there. And so we got out by the skin of our teeth. But we walked back over to the freshman dorm we were in, scanned in, got back into the room, and just breathed a sigh of relief as we made it down just in time off the front of the building by jumping as opposed to going back down the ladder in the back. I do not recommend going in places on campus that you are not allowed. It could get you into some trouble. We just happened to get lucky this time. But if you guys like the video, if you like the story, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Comment down below if you have any crazy stories yourself. And if you want to see more things like this, let me know.